say Tantra, I am not talking about the Tantra that you're hearing of today. Tantra does not mean unbridled promiscuity. In this context, they created two tantric bodies with one head. The forehead is here in Pashupatinath. The Sahasrara, the top of the head, is in Kalpanath. What is above is in the Muktinath. What is beyond is Kailash.
Step into the foothills of Himalayas. A certain romance has begun between the youngest species on the planet, which is you, and the youngest mountain on the planet, which is Himalaya. Both are still growing, still struggling, still evolving, still wanting to touch their peaks. A lot of earthquakes and landslides and disturbances keep happening on a daily basis simply because the mountain is growing. The same is true with human life. If one is striving to grow, many earthquakes and landslides keep happening in our lives. Those who are stagnant, who don't grow, their life seems to be stable and steady and looks better, but it's lifeless. One is striving to grow, enormous amount of upheavals happen in his life. But all the upheavals are worth a little bit of growth that may happen within a human being.
In large parts of India was like this at one time, that the whole geography of the place was created like a living body. They established, like how in the human body the energy centers are, like this they established these bodies. Many kings sponsored these great adventures of turning their whole kingdom into a spiritual body. Nepal is one place where it is much more alive than what you would find in India, simply because the whole culture supported it. Even now, for 98% of the population in Nepal, going to the temple and seeking their mukti is still the highest thing in their mind, which is largely lost in India. Mukti is not the highest thing. Going to America is the highest thing. So, when the very psychology of a civilization was completely geared towards ultimate liberation, these things could be done, but the very geography could be converted into a living spiritual body. So Pashupatinath is seen as the forehead of Shiva. So where does Shiva fit into all this? We'll look at that later, okay? He creeps into everything. How? Why? We'll look at that later. Pashupatinath is seen as the forehead of Shiva, and his body flows, one body to the south, another body to the west, one head, two bodies. These two bodies represent two fundamental systems of Tantra. The southern body is the right hand and the western body is the left hand. When I say Tantra, I am not talking about the Tantra that you're hearing of today. Tantra does not mean unbridled promiscuity. Today, the word Tantra evokes all kinds of nasty things in people's minds because most of the information that you know about Tantra is rebound from the American shores. Even in India, if you go into any bookstore, most of the books on Tantra are written by American authors. That is not the kind of tantra I'm talking about. Tantra means a technique or a knowledge or a certain technology of being able to unmake life and make life again. Those of you who come from India and maybe you have spent little time to look at the calendar art in India, you would have seen that sometimes there is a yogi or sometimes a woman who has taken off her head or his head, placed it in their hand and walking. Have you seen this picture? So this basic tantric imagery is to tell you that this is about the mechanics of life, understanding this machine so perfectly that you can completely dismantle it and put it back. So based on this, and when I use the word tantra, I want you to understand from this context, not from… In this context, they created two tantric bodies with one head. The forehead is here in Pashupatinath. The Sahasrara, the top of the head, is in Kalpanath. What is above is in the Muktinath. What is beyond is Kailash.